Have you ever made a statement that the response to the statement was perhaps very far from what you expected it to be, maybe even almost the very opposite of what you thought it might be? In the last few verses of John chapter 6, Peter makes a remarkable statement about who Jesus is. He said that we know that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, and we know that you have the words of eternal life. Jesus' response to that statement is somewhat interesting because rather than saying something commendable to Peter about the statement, and I'm sure Jesus admired the statement and thought much of it, but Jesus' very first response was to tell the group that was there, "Have I not chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil?" Now, you have to think for a few minutes, why did Jesus respond with that statement to what Peter said? Well, Peter had said, "We have come to know that you have the words of eternal life. We have come to know that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God." So he was including not just himself, but everyone among the 12. But Jesus knew something that Peter didn't know about one of the members of the 12. In fact, the last verse of the chapter says that Jesus was speaking of Judas Iscariot, the one who would betray him. And that tells us something remarkable about Judas, that a man could be so close to Jesus, yet so far away. That tells us that sin and temptation are very powerful. The devil obviously is very powerful and can influence someone even that close to Jesus. But it also tells us something very remarkable about Jesus, that he knew long before anyone else exactly what was going to unfold. He knew what was going to happen to him. He knew how it was going to happen, and yet he went through it anyway. Yes, he knew Judas and he knew what Judas would do, but he also knew you. He knew me, and he knew that we needed him.